For over 150 years, the AT Cross Company has been providing high-quality tools to record and communicate information. In recent years, the recording and communications options available to all of us have changed dramatically. We now often find ourselves working on electronic paper. What hasn't changed, however, is the need for high-quality tools that are as effective and efficient as our traditional cross pens are on paper. Now, that's why we developed the new Cross ipen. Early PCs used the keyboard exclusively to input information and interact with software. As demands increased for software that was easier and more intuitive to use, graphics user interfaces like Windows gained prominence. These applications derived much of their simplicity from the mouse, and today, most users hail the mouse as an indispensable tool. While this is so, we are undergoing another change, a movement towards an electronic paper world. Even though we've been able to replace devices like the typewriter with the word processor, we are actually generating more paper than ever before. One of the reasons for this is that electronic paper has been unable to embody all the qualities of traditional paper, but that is changing fast. Current software applications, as well as new applications to come, allow you to treat an electronic document in much the same manner as you would a traditional paper document. With a variety of tools, these applications allow you to sign, annotate, draw, and/or mark up documents right on your PC. This new technology demands a new generation of tools that can not only point and click like your mouse, but also write. This is where the Cross ipen makes a difference. The ipen consists of a special electronic pen and tablet that connects to virtually any PC. The pen and tablet function in much the same manner as the mouse, moving the cursor around the screen. The specially designed tip switch performs the same functions as the left mouse button when pressed on the tablet. This is used to activate functions and menus in any Windows application. The right mouse button functions are accessed through the use of the ergonomically designed barrel switch. The ipen's custom ergonomic pen and tablet combine to create the desk set of the future. The pen has gold-plated appointments and a synthetic ruby tip. This tip combines with the tablet to create an exclusive pen-on-paper feel. This feel is important when used to unlock the writing, annotating, and drawing capabilities that exist in many of today's most popular software applications. The ipen looks and feels like the writing instruments that most people are used to. This familiar feel can help you to unlock many features of your software that are hard to manipulate using the mouse. Using patented and proprietary technology, the ipen can help you mark up faxes, retouch digital photographs, and more with the style and quality you have come to expect from Cross. Watch the video tutorial and learn how to unlock the power of your electronic documents today. The ipen will introduce you to a wide variety of features that are difficult to perform with a traditional mouse. You'll be able to create your signature or other artwork and paste it into Microsoft Word, make notations on a fax, or retouch your digital photographs. Whatever you decide to do, use the ipen to unlock the power of your electronic paper. To install the ipen, you'll need a computer with Windows 95. One available 9-pin COM port, and an installed mouse. With these requirements satisfied, we're ready to begin installation. So go ahead and locate the kibble attached to your ipen and your installation CD-ROM. Then turn off your computer to begin. First, we'll connect the ipen cable to an available 9-pin COM port. These ports are usually located on the back of the computer. If you aren't sure which one is a COM port, don't worry about it. Just find the port that fits. But again, make sure your computer is turned off. Each of the ports on the computer are specially sized, so we aren't likely to make a mistake. Once the ipen cable is connected to the appropriate port, we can turn the computer back on. Once our computer is on, and at the Windows 95 desktop, we'll insert the ipen installation disk into the CD-ROM drive. Ours is G. Once you close the CD-ROM drive, the ipen installation software should automatically begin within a few seconds. If for some reason it doesn't, we can click the Start button with our mouse, then choose Run. In the Run window, we type g:/setup.exe, then press Enter. The installation process begins with a brief animation, ending with a menu. To begin the installation, click your mouse on the Install button on the screen. You'll then see a dialog box letting us know the install shield is beginning. When this is complete, the install wizard takes over. The welcome dialog box that follows lets us know we should exit all Windows programs before running setup. Since we don't have anything else running, we choose Next to continue, then Yes. A dialog box will then let us select a COM port. When choosing a COM port, be sure to select the port that the iPen is connected to. We're using COM2. To test this port, we simply click the Test COM port and connection button. If things are going well, we'll see a dialog box to let us know the tablet is connected and responding properly. To test the iPen, we'll now choose Yes. The iPen has two switches or buttons. The main switch is activated by pressing the pen's synthetic ruby tip on the tablet surface. The second switch is located on the pen's side. The tip switch handles left mouse button functions, while the side switch is used to activate right mouse button functions. To begin, we need to wake up the pen to test it. It goes into a sleep mode when not in use to conserve battery power. To wake up the pen, simply press the pen tip on your hand or the desk surface. By waking up the pen this way, we'll avoid accidentally activating any software functions, as can happen when pressing the pen on the tablet surface. Then we'll move the pen over the surface and activate the switches to test the iPen's functionality. Once we choose Yes to test the pen, a dialog box with instructions appears. We'll start by waking up our iPen by pressing it against the palm of our hand. Now we move the iPen over the tablet without pressing the tip switch, approximately 3/8 of an inch above the tablet surface. Notice the X and Y values changing as we move the pen across the tablet surface. The testing dialog box also shows None for the buttons pressed with value equal to A0. These values signal that our pen is working. Now we'll try the pen's tip switch. By gently pressing the pen on the tablet, we see the value change to tip from None and the value change to A1. You should actually feel the tip switch being activated when you do this. Once we're sure the iPen's tip switch is working properly, we can test the side switch. To test the side switch, release the tip switch and move the iPen over the tablet while holding the side switch. The button pressed will display Side with a value of A2. Finally, we can test the tip and side buttons simultaneously. To do this, hold the side switch down and press the tip switch down on the tablet. When we do this correctly, the buttons pressed will show tip and side with a value of A3. Once we confirm that the pen and tablet are working properly, we can complete the installation process. To finish, first click the Cancel button and then choose Next. Setup will then take over and inform us that setup is complete. If we want to view the README file, we'll keep this option selected. Then click the Finish button and the README file will appear in our window. Once we've finished reading it, we'll choose the Next button and a dialog box will prompt us to restart the computer. Choose the Finish button to restart the computer and complete the installation process. The iPen's tablet is mapped to correspond to the computer screen. So if we touch the iPen to the left corner of the tablet, then move across, we're also moving the pointer from the left corner of the computer screen. Because the tablet maps X and Y coordinates to our monitor, the cross iPen is able to move the pointer to any point on the monitor. This enables us to use the iPen both as a mouse and a writing tool. The iPen's tablet has two icons located on the upper left corner of the tablet's writing surface, representing the iPen's two operational modes. The left icon puts the iPen into absolute mode. while the right icon changes it to the relative or mouse mode. To change the iPen from mode to mode, we simply press the tip switch on one of the icons. By default, the iPen is in absolute mode. When using this mode, the pointer's position corresponds directly to the position of the pen on the tablet. In the relative mode, the iPen behaves more like a mouse, where the pointer moves from its existing position regardless of the pen's position on the tablet. We'll start from the Windows 95 desktop. Since our iPen has been resting for over 5 minutes, it's conserving power by being in the sleep mode. To waken it, we gently press it on our desk or our hand. Currently, we're in the default absolute mode. One way to distinguish that the iPen is in absolute mode is to move the iPen over the tablet. While testing the absolute and relative modes, it isn't necessary to press the iPen on the tablet. Notice the pointer moves across the desktop as we move the iPen across its tablet. If we move the iPen to the left side of the tablet, then continue moving left, the pointer remains at the very left of the desktop. But by bringing the iPen back to the tablet from the right side, the pointer leaves its position from the left and comes in from the right side of the desktop. This tells us that we're in absolute mode. To test relative mode, we press the iPen tip over the right icon on the tablet. This automatically changes the iPen from absolute mode to relative mode, where the iPen's movement acts more like a mouse. Notice that as we move the iPen around the tablet, it still moves the pointer over the desktop. One difference is that the pointer seems to move a little faster. But the main difference between absolute and relative mode can be seen when we move the iPen off the tablet. For instance, by moving the iPen to the right side, then off the tablet, we see the pointer stay on the right side of the desktop. We can still maneuver it around the window, but it begins from its last position. To change back to absolute mode, let's press the pen over the left icon on the tablet. Whether to use the absolute or relative mode of the iPen is completely your preference. Both modes enable us to use the iPen instead of or in addition to the mouse. Now, should you ever want to change the double-click speed of your iPen, simply change the mouse settings in the Windows 95 control panel. So, now that we're familiar with the basics of using the iPen, it's time to put it to work. Many of today's popular software applications contain features not normally used because of the difficulty of writing or drawing with a mouse. The iPen makes many of these functions as easy as writing on a piece of paper. With it, we can add a personal touch to a document, create a signature in Microsoft Paint, and paste it into a Microsoft Word document. With software like Symantec's WinFax Pro, we can make drawings and notations on faxes without ever printing them on paper. Graphic packages like Microsoft Paint, Corel Print and Photo House, or Adobe Photo Deluxe allow us to retouch digital photographs and graphics or create them from scratch to use in cards, banners, posters, and more. A new category of software called imaging software treats electronic documents much like traditional paper documents. Applications like Imaging for Windows 95, Visionier's Paperport Deluxe, or Eastman Software's Imaging Professional allow us to place rubber stamps on a document, highlight portions of the text, or add a signature or personal touch. In the following exercises, you'll see how to use the iPen to unlock all of these capabilities. For our first exercise, we'll show how easy it is to use the iPen as a mouse. We'll start by waking up the pen, pressing it on our desktop. Next, we'll then drag a shortcut icon to a new location on our desktop by placing the iPen over the icon for the recycle bin, then pressing the tip of the pen down and dragging it to the side. Once we release the tip of the pen, the icon sits in its new location. To deselect it, we simply press the pen down on an empty area on the desktop. This action works just like dragging with our left mouse button. It's also easy to right-click using the iPen. For example, to open a small menu from the Start button, We hold the pen over the start button, then depress the side switch. While still holding the side switch, we press the tip of the iPen on the start button. This combination of actions works just like right-clicking. Notice we now have a menu with Open, Explore, and Find. To close it, let's press on the desktop. Starting a program with the iPen is just as easy. For instance, we press the iPen on the Start button, then press Programs, Accessories, and then Paint. This opens the Microsoft Paint window just as a mouse would. Using the iPen as a mouse just begins to tap into its capabilities. As you learned earlier, it can also help us to draw or write on many different types of documents, opening up a world of opportunity on your PC. One of the shortcomings of today's word processors is their limited ability to add a signature or a personal touch to a document. With the iPen, we can create a signature in Microsoft Paint and paste it into Microsoft Word quickly and easily. To start, we'll launch both Microsoft Paint and Microsoft Word from our Start menu. In Paint, we'll use the iPen to simply write within Paint, using either the pencil or paintbrush tools. With the pencil tool, we'll get a very quick and basic signature. With the paintbrush tool, however, we can select a variety of brushes and create some very elegant signatures. Once we've created our signature, we can use the Select tool to make a copy of our signature. After pressing the button for the Select tool, move the pointer to the upper left corner of your signature. Press the iPen on the tablet and drag the box to the lower right corner of your signature. Next, pull down the Edit menu and select Copy. Shifting over to a document that we've already created in Microsoft Word, we simply move the cursor to the position we'd like to place our signature and press the Paste tool. Your signature is now a part of your document. To remove it, simply move the pointer over the signature, press the iPen on the tablet to select it, and press the Delete key. We can also use Microsoft Paint to create our own graphic images. For this exercise, we'll make a quick freehand sketch. With the pencil tool selected, we can begin. Notice that by moving the pen over the tablet without pressing down, we can see the iPen moving the pencil. Once we press the ruby tip of the iPen over its tablet, our line appears. This action creates a line much easier than dragging a mouse. We can create practically any type of drawing by selecting a drawing tool and color, then dragging or pressing the iPen for the desired result. Now, this is a fun exercise the kids will love too. By using just a couple of tools, we can see that the iPen handles much better than a mouse for drawing and painting on the PC. And when we're finished, signing our picture is as simple as choosing the freehand tool, then writing our name, and adding a date. We can also do more comprehensive graphic work using software applications like Corel Print and Photo House. For this exercise, we've scanned in a photograph that we've taken with a traditional camera. Digital photographs can also be created using digital cameras and can be found on graphic art discs supplied by a variety of companies. Now we'll experience the iPen advantage. To add a personal touch to this photograph, let's choose the Coloring tab. Now we can choose the color we'd like to work with and then a tool to apply it. As you can see, we're having some fun, but just imagine the many ways you can retouch your photographs and images to create or enhance cards, banners, posters, presentations, and more. Our graphics and digital photos can also be printed, saved in a variety of formats, or emailed to friends and associates. To print a copy of our drawing, we open the File menu, choose Print, then OK. Many of today's popular fax software packages allow us to make notations on faxes right on our PC. Within Symantec's WinFax Pro, this is accomplished in the Fax Viewer. We'll be demonstrating the iPen's fax annotation and drawing capabilities with Symantec's WinFax Pro version 8.0. To create a new fax, we first press on the Fax tool. This starts the WinFax Pro Send Fax Wizard. By pressing Next, we can work with the wizard just like a mouse would. Using the keyboard, we'll enter who we want the fax to go to, followed by a number. With this data entered, we press Enter, then type a subject. Now we select the option for a cover page by pressing its checkbox. To choose a type of cover page, we press the drop-down arrow below the cover page option, then choose it by pressing it with the iPen. Now we can enter our message by pressing the message box with our iPen, then typing. Once our message is entered, we press Next to go to the following box. Then press Next again since we won't be adding an attachment. But since we do want to preview the fax before sending it, let's select this option to activate it. Finally, we press the Finish button. Now that WinFax Pro is in viewing mode, we can make changes to the fax. Within the WinFax Pro viewer, we can quickly mark up faxes, save the changes, print a copy, send the fax, or email it. To mark up a fax, we'll use the Fax Viewer, or preview window of the faxing application. In our current exercise, we'll be using the fax we just created. We're presently viewing a standard WinFax Pro cover page. We can scroll down using the arrow keys or the page down key, or we can just drag the scroll box down using our iPen. Once we see our message, we'll make changes using WinFax Pro's tools. For instance, to make notations or create drawings on a fax, we go to the toolbar and select the pencil tool. Now we can move to the message area and circle bits of text, write a message, or sign our name. We can start by dragging a circle around the word thanks with our iPen. But let's say the line isn't wide enough. To correct this, we'll first remove the circle by choosing Undo from the Edit menu. Then we open the Format menu, highlight Line by placing the iPen over it, then press a wider line format from the flyout that appears. Now when we drag a circle, its line thickness is much wider. Writing works much in the same way. Now here's a tip. When writing, it may be helpful to tilt the tablet first. Well, let's test this out by writing our name. Since this is our first time, we may want to practice a bit. While practicing, there are several ways to remove our changes. One way is to use the Undo command in the Edit menu. Another way is to use the Erase tool. Let's go to the toolbar and press this tool. Now we can drag the eraser block over our lines to erase them. To make erasing faster, we can go to the Format menu, highlight Eraser, then press a larger erase box. Once we begin erasing again, we see a much larger area is erased where we drag the iPen. Another tool we can use for removing markup is the Selector tool. We simply go to the toolbar and press the Select Area tool. Then we move to our markup and drag a box around it with the iPen. Once we have a dotted selection line around the text, we can remove it by pressing the Delete key. With our markup removed, we can begin to write or draw on the fax again. Let's write our name to practice one more way of editing our faxes. Let's say that we want to move our name to a different area of the message box or cover page. This can be accomplished by pressing the Selector tool, then dragging a box around our name. Once we release the tip of the iPen from the tablet, a dotted selection line appears around it. To move this selection, we place the iPen in the box, and when the dragging hand appears, we drag the iPen where we want the markup to appear. It's that simple. To send this fax, all we need to do is press the Send Fax button, and our recipient will have a fax with our signature. The iPen also allows us to treat a fax that we've received in much the same way. Imaging applications like imaging for Windows 95, Visioneer's Paperport Deluxe and Kodak Eastman Imaging Professional enable users to treat an electronic document in much the same manner as a traditional paper document, highlighting, rubber stamping, and writing on documents on the PC. In the next segment, we'll show how Visioneer's Paperport Deluxe can be enhanced with the iPen. Since Visioneer Paperport Deluxe comes with sample files on the Paperport desktop, we'll use them for the following demonstration. Let's select the business letter by double tapping it. Notice this letter is maximized to our window, and a vertical toolbar appears on the left side of the screen. Let's begin by highlighting text. We select the highlighting tool located third up on the toolbar, and then drag the iPen over areas we want highlighted. Now we'll choose the bottom tool, which adds an arrow for annotations. Before creating the arrow, let's open the Annotations menu and choose Line Arrowhead. This flyout menu lets us select the kind of arrowhead we'd like to use. We'll keep this first one selected. Then, to create this arrow, we simply drag the iPen where we want it to appear. Then we can choose the freehand tool to create a handwritten note to this letter. But before writing, let's open the Annotation menu again, then choose Line Width. We'll make our line wider. Now we use the iPen to write Follow Up beside the arrow we just made. Like Visioneer's Paperport Deluxe, Imaging for Windows 95 is a versatile document imaging package that can treat an electronic document in much the same manner as a traditional paper document. It has been a standard part of Windows 95 since early 1997. You can find it in the Accessories menu on your Start bar. If your PC has an earlier version of Windows 95 without imaging, it is available as a free download on Microsoft's World Wide Web page. We'll now look at the main window for Imaging for Windows 95. To complete this exercise, we'll use a pre-scanned document. With this document in our window, we can begin to work. You'll first want to move the pointer over the different buttons on the toolbar to see their function. For now, we want to select the Annotation toolbox, bringing up a small toolbar with buttons allowing us to select Draw a Freehand Line, Highlight, Draw a Straight Line, Draw Rectangles, Add Text, Attach a Note, Insert Text from another file, or Add a rubber stamp. To start, we'll insert a rubber stamp by selecting the Rubber Stamp button and choosing the Draft stamp. We can then move the pointer to the place in the document that we'd like to place the stamp by pressing the iPen on the tablet. To highlight a paragraph, we select the Highlight tool and press the iPen on the upper left-hand corner of the desired area. Holding the iPen down, we drag it to the lower right-hand corner and release it. Lastly, we'll add some comments using the Freehand Annotation tool, simply writing on our document. If we wanted to add some typewritten text, we'd simply choose the Add Text tool and press the pen where we wanted to add the text and type. That concludes our video tutorial, Intuition, Unlocking the Power of Your Electronic Paper. We hope you found it helpful. On behalf of the CrossPen Computing Group and ViaGraphics Computer Training, we'd like to thank you for using the iPen. Happy writing.